Tractor safety.
The tractor is the workhorse of the farm. It's the one machine that's used on a daily basis, regardless of weather, time of year, or even day of the week.
Because of this, it's often hard to find time to look after it, such as clean it, maintain it, and carry out repairs. As a result, operators end up working on tractors that are not entirely safe. Tractors in many yards have several different drivers, and as a result, certain regular, daily, and weekly checks are left undone, as it's assumed someone else has completed the task. Tractors account for a high percentage of the farm accidents that occur each year. When they are linked to powered machinery, they present a very high risk to operators unless they're aware of the dangers. Tractor operations. Wear suitable clothing and footwear. Carry out the pre-start checks: oil, water, diesel, lights, tyres. Read operator's manual. Have current driving licence. Operators should not operate tractors unless they are mechanically safe. Ensure tractor is taxed and insured before going on a public place. Be conscious of the dangers tractors may pose to vulnerable groups, such as children and elderly people. Be especially careful when reversing tractors with trailers attached. Anyone under 14 years old should not be allowed to drive tractors. Drivers must be 16 years old to drive in a public place and carry a valid driving licence. Driving. The main causes of accidents when driving are driver human error, carrying passengers, unfamiliar with the controls, lack of safety features, poor maintenance. The operator should know and understand the functions of the following controls: the gears and how they engage, fuel stop or cut off, hydraulic or PTO levers, braking system, dash controls. You must ensure that all inexperienced drivers receive formal training and supervision. Drivers should be aware of controls and be alert when driving. Do not carry passengers, particularly children, unless they have a proper seat and belt fitted. Take time to carry out some basic maintenance, such as cleaning windows and mirrors. Check pins, hitches and steering, and tidy the floor cab. Know the safe stop procedures. Cut back the throttle in good time, both the foot and the hand throttles. Wait until the tractor has slowed sufficiently. Press the clutch pedal. On modern tractors, you can change down gears. Apply brakes gradually. Always try and park in a suitable location. Stop the engine and apply the handbrake. Lower hydraulically mounted equipment, both front and rear. Remove the key. Always apply the safe stop procedure before leaving the tractor seat. Hitching to trailed implements. Make sure you use the right hitch system. Only use the controls from the tractor seat. Never stand between the tractor and other machines or behind them. Never stand with your feet under or near drawbars. Ensure that jacks, skids and other supports are used and maintained. Always ensure that the implement rear lights are attached to the tractor and are working. It's advisable to have teenagers and inexperienced drivers supervised when hitching and unhitching trailers and implements.
Never get between a hydraulically mounted machine and a tractor, or place your feet under parts that can collapse, such as a drawbar.
Machine operations. The Code of Practice on Preventing Accidents to Children and Young Persons in Agriculture states that persons under the age of 16 should not operate powered equipment. Ensure that all PTO and machine guards are in place. Ensure that the correct procedure for engaging or disengaging the PTO is understood. Stop the PTO and the tractor using the safe stop procedure before approaching power-driven machines. Check the machine for defects. Always lower the machine to a safe position before leaving the seat. Overturning and the terrain. When tractors overturn, the nature of injury tends to be very serious and many times fatal. Overturning can happen on flat as well as sloped ground. Control the tractor speed using the throttle. Weather and ground conditions may affect the stability of the tractor. Match equipment to the tractor. Heavy implements can cause a tractor to jackknife. Use counterbalance weights in front on hilly land. Make sure a safety cab to OECD standards is fitted. The condition of the cab needs to be checked regularly for cracks or rust. Never jump from an overturning tractor. There's a very high risk of being crushed or trapped in the door or the cab. Four-wheel drives may be safer to use on hilly land if driven correctly. Young people and inexperienced drivers need to understand the dangers of liquid loads on hilly terrain.
It's important that the terrain over which a tractor is driven is free from hazards such as steep slopes or excavations.
Maintenance. All tractors need frequent maintenance work to ensure that they are safe to operate. This should be done in conjunction with the operator's manual. When replacing parts, the recommended safety standards should be adhered to. Care should be taken when carrying out maintenance, as very often accidents happen while machines are being serviced and maintained. Replace all guards after completing the work. ATVs. In recent years, the ATV has become a very popular and useful machine on the farm. But with its increased use, we have seen a rise in the number of serious accidents and fatalities involving the ATV. Most ATV accidents are caused by speed or by the machine overturning on rough or hilly terrain. Serious ATV accidents can be prevented by receiving adequate training and by wearing appropriate PPE. All ATV operators must wear a safety helmet, gloves, tight-fitting clothes, ear protection and eye protection when operating an ATV. The tractor is the most important machine on any farm. It can do many types of work under very difficult circumstances. However, it's also the most dangerous machine and commands great skill and knowledge of the driver. A simple lapse in judgment can cause untold misery and suffering to family members. One must treat all tractors with utmost respect in order to avoid accidents.